Cornwall is a great place. It's fantastic. It's really. I love living in places where you're far away from people, as such. Although Cornwall is these people here, but it doesn't feel like you're in a big city. I work and live on a farm close to Camelford, but coming down to Cornwall, to Port Isaac specific, and Cornwall, it's just the peacefulness of it. And yes, Cornwall there's lots of artists everywhere in Cornwall. They all over. I mean, with the exhibitions we had together with Martin, we also had other artists in, and it's amazing. It's as if we inspire each other by seeing what other people are doing.
You can't fail but to be inspired by everything around you, because it's just, it changes. Every day's different. You look out the window and I've got the sea, the sky, the cliffs, everything, the boats, and it's just, magical, really.
It's a perfect place to get away, be by yourself, reflect. The light is fantastic if you're doing painting. And I suppose like-minded people attract like-minded people. So this village especially seems to host a lot of artists, writers. There's a lot of people who write poetry, old and young. There's even the builders and the fishermen are all artists or poets, so it just seems to be part of the lifestyle. When you're living out in nature and you're surrounded by nature, I think it just sort of suits, really.
We came here because Bill grew up here in Port Isaac, and so we came back here because he saw that this big old chapel was for sale, and so we bought it and just suddenly had the space to do everything we wanted to do, which was have our own pottery, have our own workshop, have our own gallery. We'd never had the opportunity before to be able to do all of that.
We make things. For instance, I believe, I just make something. I gave this pieces of scrap a second chance to become something else and to be something, but it becomes art when you appreciate it.
I think you've also got that element in nature around you as well. We've got the harbour wall here, which sort of keeps nature at bay a bit, but you're sort of living shoulder to shoulder with it. So you sort of see how nature does control people's lives, particularly down here, which it wouldn't necessarily in a city. I particularly like the atmosphere and the sort of the fact that it changes all the time, and the inspiration of the coasts, the light, the whole ambience of the county, really. I always sort of feel that the harbour and all the buildings around the harbour, it's a bit like an amphitheatre, and we're all looking out to sea, but we can all look across at each other. That whole sort of feeling that all the houses are sort of hanging onto the hillside, and yet we're all looking out to sea, which is the big stage. But there's this sort of tiny little community. The danger is that you can get so embroiled in a little village and you forget that there's a big wide world out there, and you have to take yourself out and do other stuff. Otherwise your horizons do sort of shrink a bit into your own back door. But it's a great back door.